Big storm has arrived in Mexico. Although Hurricane Patricia has weakened a bit, it's still one of the largest, most powerful storms on record, and it's pounding the western part of the country as we speak. Fortunately, the Mexican government says Hurricane Patricia came ashore in a relatively unpopulated area. There are 165-mile-per-hour winds, torrential rains, and powerful waves. It's also causing mudslides, like this one in this picture tweeted out from a Mexican television station. The storm is nearing Puerto Vallarta, one of the most populated tourist attractions on the west coast. Guests there are being evacuated. This hurricane is very large. This should give you some idea of how big it is. This is what the storm looks like from the International Space Station. The size is simply staggering. Thankfully, so far, there's been no reports of any deaths or major damage so far we're talking about. Local 12 meteorologist Scott Demick joins us now. Hurricanes have hit this area before, but nothing like this, right?
Right, and it's not just a point on a map. You have hurricane force winds that extend about 35 miles away from the center. Tropical storm force winds about 140 miles away from the center of the storm. Take a look at this satellite animation over the last several hours. Hurricane Patricia is no longer a Category 5 hurricane, but it's still a very dangerous Category 4 hurricane with maximum sustained winds around 130 miles an hour with gusts just over 160 miles an hour. As of 11 o'clock, the National Hurricane Center has the storm moving to the north-northeast at 20 miles an hour. Notice Patricia will weaken gradually to a tropical storm and eventually a tropical depression as soon as tomorrow. It's no longer going to be over land. Once we get into the overnight and early tomorrow, it's losing its fuel, but it will still produce a lot of rain over Mexico, and there will be strong winds extending all the way up into Texas over the weekend. Of course, Brandon and I will be here through the weekend to keep you up to date.